Last minute, straight from behind the scenes at Arsenal. A potential 45 Libertadores swap is set to blow up the market, with Gabriel Jesus involved in a bold move for Kenan Yildiz or Antoine Semenyo. And it doesn't stop there. Yuri Timber is very close to signing a huge new contract, but there's one detail that no one expected. If you love Arsenal, if you live every rumor like the end of the championship, stay until the end, because this news could change everything at the club in January. And let's move on to today's news. But first, just check if you're already subscribed to the channel, because the next videos will be a series of content that will help you stay informed about everything related to Arsenal. The Gunners, turn on the notification bell and select the all option. Once that's done, we'll send you everything last minute that comes out of Arsenal's back rooms. Gunners, we have a goal of likes to reach this video of 120 likes. In the last video, we reached the goal in less than an hour. Prove that you are a real Gunners and leave a like so we can reach this goal soon. Arsenal considering 45 million swap? Yildiz, Semenyo, and Timber enter the radar. Just imagining this possibility makes your heart accelerate. Arsenal are considering a bold exchange that could change the club's course in the January window. Gabriel Jesus, involved in a deal that would bring Kenan Yildiz or Antoine Semenyo to the Emirates. Meanwhile, Yuri Timber is approaching a major renovation. The scenes are buzzing, and the names keep gaining strength. This is not just the market. This is the construction of a new Arsenal. Bukayo Saka, as always, shows why he is the stand's favorite. In yet another performance for England, he not only found the net, but also broke a record that had stood since 1938. And he's not even 100% yet. He said he doesn't feel at his physical peak, but he scored in 3 straight matches. When a player says that and still puts on a show, you can't ignore the weight he has today. Arsenal need to use this lethal shot from the left more often. He became a real threat inside and outside the box. Declan Rice is also on another shelf. He started at Arsenal as a more defensive midfielder, but now he plays as a complete box-to-box. In a recent game for the national team, he was captain, made 53 successful passes, dominated the midfield, and even went up to support the attack. He said he feels freedom now. Arteta understood that Rice needs to move, get out of contention, and get into creation. Result? The guy is in everything. Mark, protect, arm, and step into the area with presence. 3 years at home, and it already seems like he's always been a gooner. Yuri Timber is a case in point. Versatility is not enough to describe what it does. Fullback who plays as a defender, who appears inside, who plays as a weapon. Wearing the Netherlands shirt, he played alongside Van Dijk and was a monster. Interceptions, passes, coverage, and Arsenal's board is about to close on his renewal. New contract, elite salary, and undisputed starter status. The fans already know, where there is danger, Timber solves it. And not just back there. This year he started to step into the area and even dig a penalty. And we can't talk about the moment without mentioning Gabriel Martinelli. When many already doubted, he appeared again. He made a difference against City, against Athletic. He won the club's Best of the Month award. And even though he remains on the bench with the team, the flame is lit. He's one of those people who grows when no one expects him to. When opponents let their guard down, he accelerates. History shows that Martinelli always finds a way to prove them wrong about him. Arsenal have also been protecting their jewels off the field. David Raya had his contract adjusted. The club is in the process of renewing Odegaard, despite his knee injury. And it's not just any injury. There's talk of a possible lateral ligament problem, something that could be sidelined for almost 2 months. But the crowd's reaction was exaggerated. The prediction is that he will return sooner than many fear. The point is, the club knows it needs to tie up these key names while it still has control. Write, "I'm a Gunner." Support the team in any situation, victory or defeat. Leave this in the comments to show that the true fans are present at all stages. Your strength strengthens the club. Do it now and show that you truly believe. Now comes the point that could explode the market. Gabriel Jesus. Back in training after a knee injury, he is already running on the grass. But even with this recovery, the club is considering trading him in January. The reason? The unstable performance and the emergence of other options in attack. Victor Gyökeres, for example, already impacts the game even without finding the net so much. It changes the system. And with Kai Havertz also able to act as a reference, Jesus could lose space. That's where the speculation comes in. Arsenal would have offered Gabriel Jesus another around 50 million euros for Kenan Yildiz, Juventus's young standout. The 18-year-old Turkish player is already collecting assists, goals, and mature performances. A technical, explosive player with vision and balance. But it won't be easy to get him out of Turin. The Italian club sees him as a future idol. Still, where there is ambition, there is attempt. And if it's not Yildiz, the radar switches to Antoine Semenyo. Bournemouth player, fast, physical, aggressive in one-on-one. With 6 goals this season and direct participation in almost 82% of his team's goals, he is the type of striker that attracts the attention of any giant. And there's more. He's an open Arsenal fan. He said this openly, without fear of mixing profession and passion. That weighs. Very. But the contract he signed with Bournemouth also weighs heavily, until 2030. Leaving won't be cheap. They want to keep it. But Arsenal are watching closely. If Jesus is the bargaining chip, Semenyo could be the way. What is said is that the club has already investigated values and conditions to involve the Brazilian in a possible agreement. The point is, reconstruction cannot be carried out without courage, and Arteta wants new blood in attack. While all this is happening, Zubimendi is consolidating himself in midfield. The Spaniard has already won the Goal of the Month award with that cannon from outside the box against Nottingham. But what's most impressive isn't the shot, it's the intelligence. He anticipates plays, intercepts, controls the rhythm. A discovery by Arsenal's scouting team, who now form a solid duo with Rice. Together, they guarantee a midfield that thinks, runs, and hits. With this strong core, the club is now aiming for offensive balance. The front trio still needs to be polished. Martinelli is irregular, Trossard oscillates, and Saka depends a lot on connecting with the environment. That's where the obsession with a new striker comes in. A big name. Someone to come in and raise the baton. It's not just about numbers. It's about impact. Declare together for the top 4. If you still believe in qualifying for the Champions League, this collective support makes all the difference. Show that you haven't abandoned the team and that you believe in the turnaround. Could Semenyo be that name? Perhaps. But there is a curious point. He was rejected in tests by Arsenal, Tottenham, Millwall, and Crystal Palace. Yes, he spent 8 weeks at Palace and was told no. Today, he is one of the most decisive players in the Premier League. His story is reminiscent of Ebereki Eze, who was also ignored and then shown. There is something special about these players who come from rejection and are reborn with strength. Another negotiation front is to maintain the current pillars. The board knows that without renewing Timber, Odegaard, and Saka, any project is at risk. Salaries are being adjusted, clauses reviewed, bonuses discussed. And more than anything, the internal environment is cohesive. Everyone bought Arteta's idea. Everyone knows that the club is no longer one that accepts 5th place as a good result. And speaking of Arteta, some recent comparisons with Ruben Amorim have emerged in the press. Many ask, why doesn't Amorim have the same time as Arteta? But they forget that Arteta took a completely dismantled squad, Pablo Mari, Cedric, Holding, and managed to transform it into a competitive machine. The time he received came with visible results, evolution on the field, culture established. Amorim still needs to deliver this. Context matters. Very. Comment. Game is war. If you think the next clash will be decisive for the season, we want to know who is really tuned in to what's coming. And what's coming could be explosive. If this exchange between Gabriel Jesus and Yildiz comes to fruition, it will change the face of the attack. If Semenyo officially enters the radar, we will have a new protagonist at the front. If Timber signs, the defensive system will gain stability for years. What's at stake goes far beyond a transfer window. It's about the new Arsenal, a club that no longer wants to be a promise, but a reality. And if you think that was the bomb, calm down. The next news will move even more. There's a name coming from the Bundesliga, a survey in African football that surprised, and an internal dossier that leaked with the 2026 targets. So if you're here now, get ready, because the next update will leave the Emirates on fire. And now hold on to that, because if you thought today's news was heavy, what's coming will leave you floored. Yes, Arsenal fans, get ready because there are big things moving behind the scenes. And I'm not talking about cheap speculation, no. These are real movements, initial contacts made, and names being put on the table by people who make decisions inside. And of course, you will want to know everything down to the smallest detail. But before I release this next one, let me make an opinion that will hurt many fans who live on nostalgia. Gabriel Jesus has already given what he had to give at Arsenal. It's hard to say, but it's reality. Since the post-World Cup, he can no longer be that decisive, physical, electric guy. Competition has grown, the system has changed, and patience is running out. With Kai Havertz gaining important minutes and Gyökeres leaving defenses in panic even without scoring goals every game, it is clear that Jesus became a bargaining chip, and everything indicates that the club will use him. You have to use it. Football is a moment, and at the moment, Arsenal need new blood. Power, names that scare opponents and do the job now, not when they are 100% or when they recover again. And if it is necessary to sacrifice a recent idol to make room for a new star, then so be it. Because here you can no longer live in the past. This is Arsenal. And Arsenal want a trophy, want Premier League, want Champions League. We're not here to compete. We're here to win. Now, if you really want to be ahead of everyone, knowing before anyone else what will happen in the next few days with Arsenal, go to the channel's exclusive playlist now with all the latest news, controversies, transfers, and fresh rumors. It's all there, separated, organized, straight to the point, with that professional coverage that only the best Arsenal channel in the world delivers. Click on the playlist pinned in the comments or on the end screen of the video, choose the next content, and get ready. Because the next bomb is about to explode, and I guarantee you, you won't want to know last. So come on, real gunners, buckle up, because the market is going to explode. Now leave it in the comments. Leaders coming soon. If you believe Arsenal can reach the top of the table, and don't forget to activate the bell with the all option on, because here, if you blinked, you missed the news that will dominate the conversation this week. See you next time. And it's hot because it's going to be insane.